Hey guys, I wanted to get on here and talk about how I sign distributors. Some of you might know this already, some of you might not, some of you might struggle with it, some of you might not. So if you need a little extra tips or you want to know more about how to sign distributors and what's going to actually work, you need to watch this video. Pretty much. So whenever I go to talk to someone about the opportunity, I never ever walk into it like a salesperson, ever. I make everything super personal. So when I first get started with a conversation with someone, I will literally talk to them like they're my best friend. Like they own it, like they are it, and I give them a confidence booster. So I pretty much am like, you know, you got this, girl. Or when they're talking about, you know, their life or whatever, I'll say, oh, you seem like such a strong person. I know you can do this. You know, just certain stuff like that. I'll love all over their Facebook, and I'll say beautiful on their post, or I'll compliment them, or I'll talk to them on their post like it's almost like a conversation, and then I'll just message them and I'll start talking to them about life in general. So what I usually do is when I first meet someone, I will ask them, you know, where they're from. I'll ask them, you know, if they have any kids. I'll ask them if they are, like, what they do for work, or what they've done for work in the past, or anything like that. And then most of the time there's like a key trigger point where I will say, okay, have you ever thought about doing what I do? After I ask that main question, that question that everybody dreads asking, and I know a lot of you are dreading asking that question right from the start, the way that you need to go into it is thinking like, they're either going to sign with me or they're not going to sign with me. It's no big deal either way. I can still get them to host a post for me, or I can still get them to order something from me. They might say no, and it doesn't always necessarily mean that they're saying no forever. They're saying no, like no right now. So that's what you always have to keep in your mind, that even a no might be a yes at some point. So keeping consistent, watering those seeds, no matter if they said no or yes or maybe, or said I want to but I don't have the money right now, watering those seeds is huge. And by watering those seeds, I don't mean constantly bugging them, constantly being like, hey, do you want to join? Hey, do you want to join? Hey, do you want to join? Posting on Facebook, join my team, join my team, join my team. When you really think about that, think about if you're going to like a store, okay? You walk into a clothing store, and I had seen this on a different video, and I was like, and it was about online marketing, and I said, you know, picture yourself walking into a store, and when you first walk in, someone's like, hey, can I help you with this? And you say, no, I'm good, I'm just looking around. And then they keep following around the store and keep following around the store and say, you know, hey, do you want this? Hey, do you want that? Hey, do you want that? Do you want to consistently shop there? Probably not. I know myself, I'd want to get the hell out of there. Like, I would want to go as fast as I possibly can, because it's making it awkward at that point. So, not constantly, consistently just bugging them, meaning starting a conversation with them. It doesn't have to be just saying, you know, do you want to join my team? Do you want to join my team? Talking with them, having a conversation with them, getting to know who they are. Just because they said no once, or just because they said maybe and then never signed up, doesn't mean that they're not going to in the future. Especially with building that relationship, a lot of the times you have to get them to trust you before they buy, or before they buy into working with you, okay? So they're watching you. Even though you think that they're not, they're watching you. And if they're seeing, you know, posting about the business nonstop, they're gonna be like, what the heck? Okay, I don't want to do this. So posting is really a big deal, because when it comes to posting, if you're posting graphics nonstop, first of all, you're not an infomercial. Stop posting like you're an infomercial, because you're not. You are you. Brand yourself. Don't brand yourself as It Works, because you're not It Works. You, like I'm Chelsea. I don't brand myself all over my Facebook. Posting the pictures with the white background, that say It Works on it, or say Business Builder Kit on it, or the greens, or whatever, with nothing flashy. I mean, it looks flashy, but it's not like a picture that you could have taken yourself, pretty much. So stop branding yourself as It Works and just reposting things from the It Works Global website, or It Works Global website, or from Mark Pentecost Facebook or whatever, unless it's a really good picture that could have been something that you took yourself. Okay. Constantly, you know, posting more about yourself is gonna get people to it's gonna allow people to get to know you. So I don't know if any of you guys realize this or know this, but most people 9 times out of 10 are emotional decision makers. So they make a decision based on emotion, not by logic. So when you're posting about yourself and your life and about what you're going through and how life is going and your family and your, you know, your work or whatever you're doing, or your struggles and your happiness, or anything like that, that's allowing people to connect to you on different levels that they wouldn't have been able to connect with you on if you just posted It Works, It Works, It Works constantly. So posting about yourself is such a big thing, and that works for loyal customers too. So make sure that you're posting to be you. Even if you have to take a post from, you know, one of our team pages and twist it into something that's your own, just to make it more personable, just to make it sound like you and not just you're like a robot, like join my team, join my team. You don't want people to just see that constantly, because they're gonna be like, I'm deleting this girl right now, or this guy, whatever. So make sure that you are being yourself. Find what the whole thing is. 9 times out of 10 people, like, when you're talking to them and you are offering them something, they're gonna wonder what they're getting out of it. So when you're talking to someone, and when you're talking to someone about the company or about a product, mainly about, like, I'm talking about the business, the opportunity. Sorry, this paper is like flying up. So when you're talking about the opportunity, you want to seem confident. You want to seem confident. You want to seem like you know your shit. You know what you're talking about. If you don't, people are going to be like, I don't know, I don't know. So you want to make sure that you're offering something good of value back to them, like your time and your commitment to being confident and honest and upfront and everything. So make sure that you're doing that. When you're posting, do not change who you are. Don't sound like a robot. You don't have to sound like a robot. You can be yourself. That's why you join this business, is because it allows you to be who you are as a person. You don't have to dumb yourself down. You don't have to make yourself seem like you're this perfect person, because you're not this perfect person. And people aren't going to relate to you if you try to act like you're constantly this perfect person and like you're making crazy money. People know that you're not making crazy money right off the bat, and that's fine. Talking about your struggles with the business, talking about, you know, how you're super pumped for the business to go up and stuff, that's something that they can relate to. That's something that they can personally confide in, because they're looking for that. They're looking for, oh, this is believable. Okay, it's obvious you're not going to make money right off the bat. You have to make sure you're working your business in order to do that. So like I did a live the other day about how last month I slacked off. I had bad anxiety, and I decided that I was going to actually do coping mechanisms a lot more for my anxiety and make it to the rank that I want to make it to this month. So I talked about the realness of it, and I talked about, you know, I did slack, and that's what this business is all about, is, you know, putting in the effort. And if you don't put in the effort, you don't make out to what you want. So when it comes to that, when it comes to posting and going live and doing all that stuff, be yourself. Be yourself. That's the number one, I think the number one piece of advice that I could give you is be yourself. And stop just copy and pasting all of your posts and everything. If you've been in the company for, that was a spider. If you've been in the company for a while, you know by now that, this is how we post, and not constantly posting, the business builder kit with the white background, or posting a picture that says it works right in the corner. You're not an infomercial. Like, make sure that you're being yourself. Take a picture of you holding the product. If you don't have a piece of the product, you can get on those little apps that you can put the product in front of the picture that you're taking of yourself. You can also find really like nice pictures that look like you might have even taken them yourself on Pinterest. You can look those up. Pinterest has them. I know that It Works Global Facebook page has them, and I know that a couple of our team group pages have pictures that are really appealing to the eye. That's what you want. You want to draw people in with that and not making it look like an advertisement. Okay, so then when you're posting and you're going to message people, you want to make sure that when you're messaging people, don't just copy and paste. When you're copy and pasting, I understand if the copy and paste, if it sounds, good or whatever, if it sounds like something that you would actually say, and it's not something that everybody else is sending word for word, then definitely use it. But if you're sending a message and it's literally something that everybody else is sending, that you're using the same exact script that everybody else is using, people are going to take note to that. So say you go to message someone, you say, hey girl, I was wondering if you were interested in the greens, I can give you 40% off, da da da. And little do you know, she might have gotten the same exact message from someone else like 10 minutes ago. So make sure you're switching things up, because that's not going to get you sales. That's not going to get you distributors. Being personal is going to get you distributors. When it comes to them asking you, how do I get started? You know how you got started because you got started yourself. They ask you, how much does it cost? Be real with them. Be honest with them. It retails at this, but I can get it for you. I can get it for you for this much. Okay. So be real, be honest. If you're being honest and being real with yourself and being real with them, you're gonna start getting sales and distributors nonstop. So that's how I sign distributors, is being 100% myself, especially when I'm talking to people. I'll get to know them. I'll make it a lot more about them than about me. So any of the questions that I ask is usually the conversation usually goes, hey, how are you? And then they say, hey, how are you? And I'll say, oh, okay, hey, I'm doing great. I went to go do this today. Any fun plans for you today? And I'll just keep making the conversation about them, because I want to know more about them. So when you really think about it, making sure you're not copying and pasting is going to help you out in a long run. When you're going to sign distributors and you're talking to someone, make sure you're in control of the conversation. So what I mean by in control, meaning like when you're talking to someone, make sure that you're asking the question and then they answer it, and you ask another question and they answer it. Just because everybody, and I watched this on a video too, I watched a lot of videos about being a leader and making sure that you're doing good at being a leader for other people, and everybody starts out as a follower and everything like that. Okay, so when you really think about it, just take a second and really think about it. We've all been a follower at one point in our life. People want to be led. Like, they seriously want to be led, and it's weird to think like that, but that's the God's honest truth. When you really think about it, when we're, little kids, we're led by our parents. When we are in school, we're led by our school teachers. When we go to our first job, we're expected to be led by our boss. So when you really think about it, you want to make sure that you are staying leading this person, okay? When you're talking to them, it is so important to do that, because getting them stuck in a point where they don't feel like they're being led to where you want them to go, that's just going to make them run off. Okay, so make sure you are staying in the leader role the whole time, which can be led for confidence too. That can be led by confidence. So also when I am signing a distributor, voice text, like not voice text, voice messaging, sorry. Voice messaging people, sending a voice message. It's 2018, okay? Barely anybody's using their phone anymore when it comes to phone calls or anything. I could see FaceTime. Some people use FaceTime, but a lot of people, they don't have time for that. They got too much stuff to do. So voice messaging is where it's at, because it gives you the chance to send someone a personal message. They can hear your expression, they can hear your tone, your confidence, your whole attitude with it. They can hear that. And when you radiate that in your voice messages, people are going to be like, okay, yep, this girl knows her stuff. She knows what she's doing. I'm going to go with her. Okay. So when it comes to talking to them and being yourself in general, and just being open and honest and everything, tell them what it's done for you. Be honest with it. You don't have to lie with this business. You don't have to fib. You don't have to say what everybody else is saying. Everybody starts out as a beginner. Everybody starts out somewheres, and everyone who's joining knows that. They know that. And if they don't know that, well, they're gonna know that. So when you're really talking to someone, make sure that you're being extremely personable with them. Make sure that you are going into it, putting yourself in their shoes, knowing that, you know, what the possible outcomes of what they could say back is. Make sure that you are not consistently pestering or saying, join my team all over my Facebook. Be inspiring. That's what's going to get people to come with you, is inspiring people over and over and over and over again with your posts. That's watering the seed. And then when you're messaging people even. So that's pretty much how I sign distributors. It's really not that hard when you're talking to people, literally just being upfront and honest, getting to know people, getting to know what they need in life, getting to know what their goals are. I know a lot of you are running for huge promotions this month, and I know that, you know, it might take a lot of hard work to catch up with building relationships super, super fast, but you can do it. You can do it. You can totally do it, because a lot of the people even that I start talking to, I will build a relationship literally within like a couple days. I can build a relationship within a day and get to know literally everything about them and talk to them like they're my best friend. Okay, so you can totally do this. You just have to believe in yourself. You have to be confident. You have to learn to be yourself and be just honest and upfront, and don't think too hard. Work smarter, not harder, okay? All right, I'll talk to you guys later.